We got breaking news for you right now. We're watching a police chase in Kansas City. They've just gone on West 53rd from southbound Bell Fountain. We're over the scene in Sky Tracker.
They started a little earlier as police were trying to pursue a robbery suspect. That pursuit started. He began driving, they say, at high rates of speed. You see here, it's a blue Lexus that we're looking at. Captain Greg Borden is in Sky Tracker. You've been following along for some minutes here. Greg, we know they actually hit a car at some point, correct? Greg, can you hear me? All right, well, we're missing Greg. We'll let him catch up with us in just a minute. But what we understand that there was a crash at one point where a third party was hit. That was about 63rd and Holmes. Don't know if anyone was injured in that other car, but we do know that the chase did involve a crash. And as you can see here, he is going awfully fast right now. Police are calling this a blue Lexus. And again, if you can give us our vantage point about where we are, those of you in the booth that can make out this. Captain Greg, can you hear us now?
Hey, guys. Yeah, I've got you.
Okay, where are we?
Okay, northbound on 71, just went over Brush Creek and Emmanuel Cleaver, and northbound up towards 43rd Street now. And as you guys maybe already mentioned, this guy's been chased around the Waldo area, the east side, the Ivanhoe district, and so now it looks like he's going to be still northbound on 71 and getting off now on 39th Street. We'll see which way he goes up here. High speeds. This guy's come very close to some pretty big accidents. Police do have their helicopter up chasing this guy, so I think they're going to probably back off a little bit, but so far staying right there with him. Eastbound now on 39th Street, guys. Okay,
now Greg, we did understand there was he did actually make contact with another car. We heard 63rd and Holmes. Did you see that? Greg, can you hear me?
Greg?
All right, well,
Let's keep watching. Too. So we've got, this all started at 71 Highway in Gregory. Police were in the pursuit of a robbery suspect. The person ran. The police were on their tail. They said they were reaching speeds of up to 50, but on 71 that might have gotten higher. Then we're told that police were chasing this vehicle and that vehicle may have come in contact with an innocent vehicle on the road at 63rd and Holmes. We don't know if there were any injuries at this point, but they're continuing to chase this person through these neighborhood roadways. You just hold your breath when they're driving this fast.
Absolutely. It feels like he's heading north again. Again, these side streets, so many of these streets, at least heading on a north-south street, there are stop lights where hopefully people stop. Some of those other side streets had a lot of stop signs. They're small neighborhoods with homes. We just hope that nobody gets hit in this as we continue to watch this. Police are also watching along as they follow. They usually try to reduce speeds so as to not promote the driver of a chase to go faster. But as you see, this guy is trying to get away as fast as he can. Hey, Greg, you're back on now. It feels like we're heading north again.
Yeah, that's right, Mark. Northbound, getting ready to come up to about just short of Linwood here. I'm not exactly sure of the north-south road he's on. Just a little bit, 2 blocks east of Prospect. Police very serious about this guy. As I look outside right now, at least a dozen units, probably 20 units, chasing this guy. So even with the helicopter, these guys are really sticking with him. And I think on Linwood now and eastbound on Linwood, heading over towards Central High School now, towards Indiana, coming up on Indiana here in just a minute.
Greg, earlier we were trying to ask you a question. I think you were talking to the tower.
Stop sticks right here.
There were a couple of possible collisions, we understand. Did you see anywhere? We understand he hit at least one car. Did you see that?
You know, Mark, we didn't see that. We were just getting on this chase and coordinating a couple things, but we know he's come extremely close. When he came out the 71 highway, very close. So this guy, very desperate, probably a very dangerous guy, still eastbound now on Linwood as he comes down towards the VA hospital on the east side of the city.
I heard you say something about stop sticks. It sounds like they're really trying to get this guy stopped with the 12 to 20 vehicles. A lot of times when they go high speed into neighborhoods like this, they'll back off. Are you seeing that?
Yeah, exactly, Krista. I mean, ordinarily in the neighborhoods like this, they just kind of let the police helicopter do his thing. But, man, they, like I say, at least a dozen, probably 20 units down there in every which direction trying to catch up with this guy. Looks like they go northbound on Jackson now. So now heading back up towards I-70, towards the Jackson Curve, and still, as you can tell, high speeds as he continues northbound up towards the interstate. We'll see what he does there. Looks like he's going to go eastbound on I-70.
If you're just joining us, I want to real quick give you a recap here. This all started at 71 Highway in Gregory, where police were in pursuit of what they said was a robbery suspect at the time. and this chase ensued, and now high speeds. And Captain Greg's been doing a very good job, but you can see maybe even more than double the speed of the other cars. Captain, can you give an indication of that?
Yeah, I would say up around, well, he's slowing down just a little bit here as he tries to negotiate some cars, but yeah, easily 80, 90 miles an hour. And it looks like now he's going to get off back onto Van Brunt, and so he's not going to go too fast through this one, but we'll see what he does now southbound on Van Brunt, heading back towards 31st Street.
Now, it's hard, Captain, for us to follow the directions and roads. Does he seem to be just randomly driving, or is he heading in one specific direction like he might have a destination?
No, I would say this is just desperation.
Okay.
He's just all over the place. Now he's going to be southbound, still on Van Brunt, heading towards the VA hospital, and a wide open road here. So we'll see what he does with the speed. There's not too much. There's really not much out in front of him right here. He's southbound on Van Brunt. Or Emmanuel Cleaver. I think it's going to become Emmanuel Cleaver here, so kind of heading back towards you guys.
Okay, yeah, this is a great, as you said, Greg, a great wide open parkway as he heads south on Van Brunt there. It's a big 4-lane parkway. You travel, there's not a lot of people out there many times. You can go long stretches without seeing another car, so we hope that this is a nice, safe time, maybe a good time for police to apprehend him. We're also watching some other breaking news as we continue to watch the chase here. We are understanding there's a possibility of an Amber Alert coming out of the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department. They're looking for a missing 6-year-old girl. Our newsroom is working to gather information on that to get the picture of this young child. But again, a 6-year-old girl may be missing. An Amber Alert expected to be issued, so we'll continue to watch that as we stay with this police chase.
And just so we're clear, we want to make sure we don't know that those two are involved at this point. They're totally separate stories, but if you do want to keep an eye out, missing from the 1700 block of North 76th Street with a terrace, which I think you said, so 6-year-old female. We'll continue to look for a photo, and we'll get you that as soon as we can, folks, because those Amber Alerts, it's so important to alert them. We do not have a picture at this time. We don't have a lot of information. As soon as we can share something with you on the Amber Alert out of KCK, we will. Now, back to the chase. Where are we now, Captain?
Okay, just turned on, I believe that's 43rd Street, so heading westbound back towards the, I think this is the Vineyard neighborhood. So now he's back into the residential area. I can see some kids out in front of him.
Oh, that's where it gets scary. Some hilly terrain in this area. If I believe I know where he is, Greg. You get some hills and some curves where, very unlike most Kansas City, is that grid system. But some of the streets up here, you start to see those curves and those hills, and this is where you just hold your breath.
Okay, northbound, now heading back up towards 39th Street. It's going to be just a little bit west of Van Brunt. And still just unbelievable, guys, how many patrol cars are involved in this. I think they're going to try to set up some stop sticks. Yeah.
Okay, now earlier, Greg, we understand a passenger bailed out of the car. You must have slowed down long enough to do that. We're going to put that video up here on the side. Can you recall what you were seeing here?
Oh, so the video on the left is from earlier. We saw a passenger bail. Did you see that, Captain, when the passenger bailed earlier?
No, guys, I'm sorry. I did not see that.
Okay.
It's all right.
All right, many times you see that in a chase like this. We're back here live now, coming into contact with some other cars, but again, still so far. Oh, here.
Oh, my gosh.
This is where
Can you
just
imagine
never
being on
know
the road and having this coming up behind you, and you don't know how to get out of the way, how to be safe? Cleaver and what? Where are we now, Captain?
Okay, so now he's back onto Emmanuel Cleaver or Van Brunt. I'm not exactly sure where the cutoff is, but coming up on the VA hospital. That's the turn right there to VA hospital. I think that's 35th Street. So now he's heading back towards 31st Street, I-70. And we'll see what he does up here.
He was on the highway for not very long. You would have, it's almost nicer to see him on the highway where the speeds are high. People have a little bit more room to get around. It's these neighborhood streets that you really get concerned.
Okay, a couple stop sticks right there. He's going to miss. No luck there. I believe they've got another thing here, guys. I believe they've got I-70 shut down here, or nearly shut down. As I look over at I-70, apparently he did cause an accident on I-70.
Oh, really?
So eastbound I-70 at the Jackson curve, there's an accident there.
I just made a U-turn heading west now, it looks like.
Yeah, now he's going to maybe get back on the highway westbound. That was off of Van Brunt. Depending what he does here, now he's going to stay over in the residential side, coming up on about 27th Street here.
You did tell us the police.
Actually, not far from the East Zone Police Department here.
No, the police helicopter is overhead too as they continue to follow so often, very similar to the way we do to make sure this person does not get away. And then Captain telling us 12 to 20 police cars involved in this. And when they reach high speeds in the neighborhoods like that, they often will back off because they don't want to cause injury or death or harm to innocent bystanders, but they have not slowed on the pursuit. Is that still the case? Look, there's a police officer right on the tail.
Yeah, sticking right with this guy. And like I said, he caused an accident eastbound I-70 just past the Jackson curve. So eastbound I-70 certainly going to have some problems on a commute here this afternoon, as this guy now, I think about 26th Street. Now he's westbound again and heading back towards Jackson and I-70.
They've been very.
My goodness.
Does that look like a police officer on a motorcycle? They've been very careful to not get in front of him. When they were on Van Brunt, they had all that wide open space. Sometimes you'll see them move ahead and try to actually get in front and push them over to a stop. They were very careful to just stay behind him, though. They didn't get in front of him. They didn't get beside him.
Yeah, Mark, and I don't understand all their tactics here, because they certainly seem reluctant to intercept him and spin him out. I don't know why they're just staying behind him. It seems, I don't know. Like I said, a police helicopter's tracking him. I don't know.
There's a school bus. Thankfully, it was on the other side of that street. Again, this is
okay,
a robbery.
23rd Street now. Westbound 23rd Street, heading back towards I-70.
Again, folks, this is a robbery suspect.
There's
Kansas City police are chasing. Again, he missed stop sticks there. This started, probably 20 minutes ago, maybe. We understand the officers were surveying this guy, keeping a look at him under some surveillance. Somehow he spotted them. He took off. Chase started, and this pursuit has been going on now since about 5 till 5, about 20 minutes now. Started at 71 Highway in Gregory. These patrol officers are the first ones to be involved in this.
Captain, I know sometimes it's easier for Brenda maybe, who's on the camera right now, to see. Does it appear that there's anybody else in this car with this person, or can you get that close, Brenda? Doesn't appear to be anybody in the, well, it's hard to tell.
He's maneuvering so much, Krista, I'm having a tough time actually getting out in front of him.
Sure.
He's on I-70 now, heading back towards the city, coming up on the Benton curve here. The inbound part of I-70 is fairly wide open, so they'll open up his speed here. But pretty shortly, he'll be, if he stays on I-70, he'll be back in the downtown area.
You know, I know we've covered several of these, and you have chases that you hear about, and oftentimes, if they don't back off, you find out later there's a reason. Either this is a suspect in a very serious situation, or perhaps there's somebody else in the car they have a fear about. But we might be able to get a good look as they reach some high speeds here. And which road are we on now?
I-70. I-70 westbound, Greg? Might be talking
it's hard
about the
for
tower.
him to see. No, we did see a passenger bail, but it's
right
hard
there,
to
though,
tell.
on that front left side. Looks like front end damage there. We did have a report that he hit another car at 63rd and Holmes. Don't know if that front end damage was already there or if that was from hitting some of the other cars along the way. No reports on any injuries yet, but we do have reports that he did hit another vehicle. But this is westbound heading back in towards the downtown area of Kansas City, westbound I-70.
Okay.
And one of the reasons we do this and follow this and make sure that you know where this person is because oftentimes you know somebody on the roadways, you live in that area. This has affected a lot of people today because this person has just been driving all over parts of the neighborhoods and parts of this part of Kansas City. So we're going to stay with this so you know what's happening and when right now in our city. And Captain, can you give us an idea of where we are now? We're looking at highways.
No problem. I'll stay well above you.
I think he's talking.
Yeah.
It's like he's talking to the tower.
Oh, there it was close. Captain, can you tell us where you are now?
Okay, guys. Doing a little coordination with the police unit. Hang on 1 second. Let me see what he's going to do here. We're in the east side of the downtown area right now. In fact, that's the federal building and actually the jail right there, which is the place he may get more familiar with.
It gets a little tricky to follow him here with all the buildings.
Yeah, he's going to be northbound over by the City Hall, so I'm going to try to get in a little better position to see him. But northbound, I think that's maybe there's Charlotte or Holmes over there. Okay, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
He slowed significantly, obviously, on these city streets.
Yeah, right by City Hall, heading towards the Federal Building.
Oh.
Okay.
Kind of running out of steam there.
It's going to get some one-way streets down here too, which could be good or bad for the pursuit. Maybe he's running out of gas.
Yeah.
Oh, he just
I
threw
think
something out. Did you see that? He's thrown something out. His hands are out of the vehicle, and he's moving again. We're seeing a little bit of smoke there on the right side, tire perhaps, or some sort of some dust of some sort.
Looks like he's going to try to go southbound now. Once again, right by City Hall.
So close. Police look like they're about to jump out and try to get him, and off he went again.
Yeah, his car's got to be disabled because I think he wants to do more than he's doing right now.
Okay.
Yeah, this will be it for him.
Again, 519.
Isn't it? Look, there's an arm out the window, which is often a sign of I give up, but who knows if that's what he's going to do. See that front? Arms out.
He did hit some other stop sticks. He went over them,
Right
but
by,
he couldn't tell if he
he's
hit
right by
anything.
police headquarters right now. Looks like he's almost going to stop right in front of police headquarters. They're just outside of it.
Now he's out.
Won't have far to go now when they book him in.
No, it's very convenient.
There he goes. He's on the ground. He's surrendering. Curious to see what he threw out there. A couple. It looked like it bounced something heavy. It could have been a weapon of some sort. Several blocks away. Okay, this was 25 minutes we've been following this police chase. It started with police monitoring a robbery suspect. It was right around 5 minutes to 5 at 71 Highway in Gregory. East Patrol officers began pursuit. This has gone through residential streets, off and on I-70 several times. High speeds. We even understand some other vehicles were hit.
And we had talked about the I-70 and Jackson curve being shut down, and Captain had thought at that point it might have been a wreck caused by this driver.
And we'll continue to get that information from our newsroom. Hopefully nobody injured in this. You look at the time, too. Right after 5 o'clock, so many times downtown's congested with rush hour. The highways are packed. This was one of those days that everything seemed to work in favor of motorists on the road. Nobody got hit severely, we should say. Nobody got hurt that we know of at this point. But this is the arrest of this robbery suspect. We don't know what he's accused of robbing, or he's even charges have even been filed in that. But we will continue to stay on this. Again, folks, we are looking at an Amber Alert coming out of Kansas City, Kansas. Yes,
Yep,
Greg, go ahead.
Hey, we're gonna pull out just a little bit to give you an idea of the police presence on this guy.
Oh,
and of course, we are
Wow.
we are right just outside of police headquarters. So once again, I mean, there's probably 25, 30 police cars down there that converge on this spot.
You aren't kidding. That is impressive. Impressive force there.
Well, we'll wait to see what we can find out about what this person was a suspect in, and we will, of course, continue to follow this story. You know, I just really do want to take a moment to go to this Amber Alert out of KCK, because so often the first minutes of a search are so imperative to get everybody in the city involved. We'll keep monitoring this, but we're going to head this way. We've learned the 6-year-old got off of her bus at 77th and Walker, but she went a different way home than she normally does. We are updating the information along the bottom of your screen so that you can have that. We're working really hard to get a picture to show you folks. She's 6 years old in KCK.
Okay, we're going to stay on top of both of those developing stories. We'll take a break. 41 Action News at 5. We'll be right back.